Welcome back. Well, wearing a mask in 2020, it's a thing. And what do you need to consider before choosing a mask? Well, obviously, you want it to match, you want it to look cute, but more importantly, you want it to protect you in the way that it needs to. I spoke with a doctor and he filled us in on everything we need to know when selecting a face mask.
The CDC director recently discussed that a face mask may provide a higher level of protection against COVID than a vaccine. But many masks offer different levels of protection. They also offer different levels of wearability. So what should you consider when picking a face mask? Dr. Bob Arnot is Chief Medical Officer for airqueen.com, and he's joining us with his suggestions. Thanks for joining us, Dr. Bob.
Hey, Christine, very welcome.
So with the CDC just reporting that masks may be important to contain COVID than a vaccine, what do we need to know about that?
So, the vaccine, when and if it becomes available, only has to be 50% effective. A really good mask, the right mask, could be 97% protective. And that means that we can get businesses back to business, workers back to work, get kids back to school, and feel safe and confident in the mask that we use. So I think it's great news.
We hear a lot about the importance of wearing masks to protect other people, but how do they protect ourselves? And do different masks offer different levels of protection for the person who's wearing them?
So, Christine, it's a great question. Look at cloth. A study last week showed that if you're wearing a cloth mask, you may actually be spewing more virus out than no mask at all. The single layer cotton like this, you'll see people wearing it below their nose, above their chin. They'll have gaps on either side, gaps under their eyes. So cloth, not particularly effective. And on the CDC website, it actually says so. 100-year-old technology. They used it in the 1918 pandemic. Surgical masks are another step up. 67% protection in a Lancet study, review of 122 studies. But if it's improperly fitted, that drops to about 40%. If you look at the next generation N95 equivalent mask, or the N95 mask, gives you about 97% protection. You see it's super lightweight, 1/1000th of a meter thick, breathable. Your skin temperature doesn't go up, your pulse doesn't go up, you're not retaining CO2. And so I like it because the best mask is the mask that you're confident in and you wear because it's comfortable all day long. And I wear this mountain biking and hiking and stand-up paddling and forget to take it off because it's so light and comfortable.
So tell us about the technology behind the AirQueen mask and how it compares to an N95 mask.
So the N95 mask is 35-year-old technology. If you look at super blown up micrographs of it, you'll see that the holes are bigger on the N95 mask. If you look at the AirQueen, it's a weave, and they're very small holes, and there's layer to layer after layer. So when you actually aim particles at this mask, as they do in the FDA mandated testing, it stops on average 97% of those particles. So I think it's better technology. The N95 masks are rightfully reserved for healthcare professionals, but these masks will be available in the hundreds of millions. I think it's going to play a big part in terms of stemming the tide of this terrible pandemic, getting us back to work and getting our kids back to school safely.
And with school underway in the schools in our local community, the kids are required to wear a mask all day long. Any advice for parents to help their kids stay safe and wear the right mask?
So with the right mask, and I think we've given you some there to give out to local schools. If not, we will. These masks, they have one for kids. My 7-year-old wears it. He wears it all day long. Doesn't get hot, doesn't get uncomfortable, loves it. I would try to insist that everybody in the school wear a very high quality N95 equivalent mask because then everybody's protected. The next thing is we now believe that the virus sits in the air, that it's airborne, and that means you have to have fantastic ventilation. Outside education if you can, windows open, or terrific ventilation to be able to protect these kids.
And we actually did receive a sizable donation with a lot of masks, so thank you very much.
Well, you're very welcome. Distribute it to schools or however you like, but it makes a big difference. And, we really hope that this is going to be a big part in terms of rolling back the tide of this pandemic. The right mask, it's here now. Big quantum leaps. There's better testing, there's better treatment, better survival in ICU. So I think that, that we can have real optimism as we look to the future, getting back to work and getting back to school.
And where can we find more information?
So the official site is airqueen.com. I have bought 1,500 masks from that site. Great customer service. They get the masks right out there, terrific information. has all the FDA certificates and information there. And if you use the word safe, all lowercase, safe, you'll get a 10% discount.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bob, for this important information, and we
Oh, you're
very
very
much
welcome.
appreciate this generous donation of masks for our
Oh,
community.
very welcome. Stay safe.